So when the news first came out that the Nigerian presidency had signed an American first healthcare MOU with the United States, there was a lot of backlash, especially from Nigerian creators online, criticizing the government for not caring about its citizens and kind of pushing a narrative that Nigeria's healthcare is now in the hands of America, and America now has the freedom to do whatever they want with our healthcare and may even want to release our population through healthcare. And getting involved in Nigerian or African healthcare is for no good. A lot of people were angry, basically saying that our governments are signing off our lives to the US and so many other complaints. And honestly, with the way things have been going politically in the country, I don't blame anyone for being scared and voicing out their fears. That fear also got to me, I won't lie, and I became worried. And I really wanted to know more about this MOU and what exactly it entailed, and not just depend on information I was getting online. So I said, you know what, I'm going to read this particular document because of how everyone was making a fuss out of it. Like there was some forbidden information. I was curious, and you know what they say about curiosity? Who knows what I was going to find? I searched for this document online and saw that it was available to the public on the US Nigerian Embassy website. My first thought was, if the information in this document was so terrible, then why make it available to the public and reveal your secrets? I downloaded the document and saw that it was a 40-page document. So I began reading. And first of all, that document was filled with a lot of unnecessary, boring information. And first thing I thought to myself was, who would sit down to read this? In fact, who even sat down to write this? Did Trump read this? Anyways, I know damn well that majority of the creators that complained about this MOU didn't actually read it. Not because they don't want to, but probably because of its length and how boring the document is. I don't think anyone who actually has a serious job would have the time to sit down and read it. And that's why it took me about 4 days to finish reading the 40-page document. I read it so you don't have to. So in this video, I'm just going to be summarizing the entire document for you so you don't get carried away by what you hear online. And you know why I know that majority of the creators talking about this document actually didn't read it? It's because no one actually talked about the major clause that this document stated for why the US is investing in Nigerian or African healthcare. Most of them may have just picked out a sentence or two that will sound controversial and probably scare you. So what does this document actually say about the MOU that was signed? The first major and most important thing you need to know is that the US didn't just get involved in African healthcare through the MOU. The US has been involved in Nigerian and other African healthcare for a very long time. Not 1 year, not 5 years, not 10 years, not even 20 years, but 25 years. Everything I'm going to be saying in this video is according to what was written in that document. Nothing added, nothing removed. And the information I'm going to be telling you is what no one else will tell you because they obviously did not read that document. I'm going to be stating the facts with evidence from it. Now, according to this document, the United States has been involved in African healthcare since 2001. Yes. Apparently, America has spent over $200 billion over the past 25 years on African healthcare. So it's not when this document was signed or will be signed by other countries that it started being involved. So according to this document, it's not a new thing because they kept talking about their past assistance to Africa and the result of those help. So for creators trying to pass a narrative that America may be getting involved in our healthcare to reduce our population, if truly that is true, then America has probably already been doing that for years now because they've already had access to our healthcare a long time ago. It didn't start today. So as you can see from this document, PEPFAR alone has saved 26 million lives and prevented 7.8 million babies from being born with HIV and so on. Yes, that's. So this MOU is basically just an extension of that aid, but in a more controlled way. According to that document, the US aid was cut off because there wasn't any proper regulation of the funds going to Africa and proper collection of data. So with this new MOU, the United States is putting in place proper regulations for the management of the funds and collection of data. I really do not know why they announced the signing of this MOU publicly. Because honestly, there's nothing really new that they're going to be doing aside better regulation. It's still the same old thing. Now, another fear that was expressed was that why would Nigeria be signing a healthcare MOU that clearly states that it's for America first? I mean, they're not even hiding it that we're not a priority. That's basically indirectly saying, look, we're not helping you because we like you or because we care about you. We're only doing it for our own benefit and for the benefit of our citizens, the American citizens. So why the heck would Nigeria be signing a document that clearly states such indirectly? Sounds kind of fishy. Anyone would be worried. And how the heck does America helping us with our healthcare relate with helping American citizens in turn? The whole thing is just so confusing, honestly, but not until you actually read the document because it's clearly stated why there. And initially, while reading those documents, and I saw why the US was interested in helping Nigeria and Africa, I wasn't happy about it. I felt like, are these people kidding me? So you're trying to tell me the major reason why you're helping African countries with their healthcare is so that the diseases here will not spread to you over there. Is that really how you rate us? Yes. So in the MOU, there are four major diseases prevalent in select African countries where the US has been involved in over 2 decades. HIV and AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, and polio. They also mentioned that they will be actively involved in helping with Ebola and have spent millions on that too. And in Nigeria, they'll be actively involved in helping with the maternal death rate. Now, according to the United States, they're not focusing on every single aspect of our healthcare, except the child mortality in Nigeria, which is the only non-transferable disease they'd be focusing on, which really sounds fishy. In Nigeria, they'll be focused mainly on helping us with child mortality rates, while in Nigeria, along with other select African countries, they'd only be focusing on diseases that pose a potential threat to them. So these diseases won't reach America all the way from Africa. So that's the major concern. We want to help you with your healthcare so it doesn't spread to us. So that's the first part of the America First Healthcare Strategy document. So America cares so much about its people that it's willing to give Africa millions of dollars for free without receiving anything in return, just so its people can be free from diseases that affect us. Still doesn't make any sense to me, but I decided to keep on reading in hopes that more reasons for these decisions would be revealed. You know, when someone is just trying their possible best to look for a loophole that they can use against you, that's what I was doing. I made sure to read every single line of that document so I don't miss anything I can use against them and say, I knew it. So aside the fact that the US is trying to protect their citizens by helping us, why exactly is the US getting involved in Africa's healthcare? Another thing I noticed about the MOU is that China's contribution to Africa was mentioned a couple of times, and of course not in a good light, since we all know that China and America are not in good terms. So the US in that document tried to downplay China's financial contribution to Africa, stating that while they have contributed over $200 billion in grants, China doesn't give grants like them, but China has given over $300 billion in loans, which is not to Africa's benefit because such high loans tend to crumble the economy. So China is giving to Africa for their own benefits, not out of the goodness of their hearts, like the way America is doing. Funny that they will say that about China since they have also stated that they are also doing it for their own benefits. And later on in this document, they would actually contradict themselves when they finally state what they stand to gain from all this. What's the shame in just admitting that, hey, look, this is a business opportunity for us. Same way we know China is trying to help you for their own gain, is same way we're also helping you for our own gain. Now imagine this scenario. I'm a wedding planner and you hire me for your wedding. And I tell you that to plan your entire wedding will cost 1 million. And you're like, unfortunately, I can't afford to give you 1 million. And then I say, you know what? For your wedding, I'm going to be supporting you with 1 million. I give you the money And then in turn, you hire my workers and pay them 800K for the items you need in your wedding. Sense or nonsense? So basically, that's the game the US is playing, or that's the business they're doing. And this, my brothers and sisters, is what the whole America First strategy is all about. 80% of the funds going from America to Africa is going back to America and its economy. And I'm not assuming. It's clearly written in the documents. So as you can see, it's stated here, the United States will continue to use health foreign assistance funds to procure supplies from US companies, creating opportunities for those companies to grow their presence in emerging markets. In FY 2024 alone, the US government has procured over $120 million in diagnostic tests from US-based companies, including Abbott, Cepheid, and Hologic. 50% of malaria rapid diagnostic tests and 70% of HIV rapid diagnostics test has been procured from American manufacturers, representing over $315 million of procurements. This support has facilitated market entry for these diagnostics companies into many emerging markets, where these companies are now able to sell products that are not at all supported by US foreign assistance. US health foreign assistance programs also heavily utilize American logistics companies to transport commodities internationally. For example, the United States has spent $102 million since 2016 on transportation on US flag ocean carriers, including American President Lines, Hapag-Lloyd, and Maersk Line Limited, and over 50 million on US-based third-party logistics that specialize in managing international and, in some cases, in-country transportation of commodities. America is essentially just in a business partnership with Nigeria and the rest of African countries. They're doing this for their own benefit. The government is helping the pharmaceutical companies and the logistics companies make money. So if America is getting involved in Africa's healthcare for any other political or maybe personal reasons aside these reasons I've mentioned, it still remains a conspiracy and definitely not included in these documents. So if you watch this video to this extent, it means you found this video interesting. So why not subscribe so you don't miss out on future informative videos like this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next one.